On this episode,
Wow!
turning a pair of junky Jeeps into rock-climbing monsters.
If it was a minivan, I wouldn't be here.
4x4 fanatics grind it out.
I don't think anybody can drive a Jeep. I don't think anybody can build a Jeep.
And fight it out to come out on top.
Been here this morning since what, 7 o'clock, busting my ass?
Who will tip the balance on the rocky road to victory?
Who's your daddy?
I want to get this thing won and over with.
2 cars, 2 teams, and 3 days. 2 groups of gearheads try to outgun each other in the garage, turning average autos into amazing rides. It all happens under the expert eye of champion rally car driver Andrew Comrie-Picard. It's a battle to the finish line on War of the Wheels.
The Jeep YJ, a classic, a legend. But today is likely to be driven to the senior prom as to be seriously taken off-road. This week we've got a pair of identical Jeep YJs and 2 teams of experienced 4x4 builders. The goal? To transform these trucks for a final off-road challenge. But first, let's see what our judges have to say about them.
All right, Jim, let's take a look under the hood of this YJ. See what it's got. Looks like it's got some miles.
Dov Aronoff is a licensed mechanic on high-performance cars and a champion show car builder. An all-around automotive expert, Dov is a drag racer who competes in the North American Pro Stock class.
Gonna have to do some maintenance on the motor though. Some vacuum leak going on there.
Yeah, it's got this fancy red thing
It's
here.
got a throttle body spacer on it. It's gonna increase the power about 20%, give them that little bit of oomph to get up the hills.
Jim McDonald is one of Canada's top Jeep specialists and head mechanic at Just Jeeps. An avid rock crawler, Jim's off-road chassis designs have won competitions across North America.
What's that smell?
Smells like gas.
Looks like a fuel filter leaking. Oh, look at that hole.
This is the main support for the whole vehicle.
Soft top's gonna have to go.
It's barely connected in any way. These
Windshield
seats
frame?
have to go. They gotta
Oh,
do
yeah.
something about this. Well, this is number 2, Jim.
Oi!
Wow. This thing was parked in a lake for a while.
Something definitely blew up.
This truck's actually pretty low kilometers, but whoever had it just didn't take care of it.
And it's got a flat.
It's actually come
Right off the rim.
doors seem to be in pretty good shape.
Not gonna need doors where they're going. What's that smell?
Oh, maybe it was parked in a lake. We got lots of rust on this truck. These guys are gonna have a lot of work and body work.
Yeah, better wear their safety glasses.
It's time to meet the teams that will tackle these beasts. The off-road warriors have never worked together as a team before. The group features an electronics whiz and his gung-ho girlfriend, backed by a veteran 4x4 fabricator and a skilled mechanic with an intense personality.
You know, I'm straight to the point. If I don't like you, I'll tell you. And if I really don't like you, I'll knock your teeth in.
Derek Reed is one imposing off-roader. An experienced 4x4 truck builder, Derek is the mechanical backbone of this team.
Lots of horsepower. I love speed. Engine-wise, I could tear it down, put it back together for you.
The Ditch Pigs also feature 3 guys and 1 woman. They each have different skills, and they've been brought together to work as a team for the first time. They're anchored by a legend in the off-road world.
Building 4-wheel drive trucks. That's what I've been doing for 20 years.
Bill Hall-Abishan is one of the top Jeep mechanics in Canada, a 4-wheel drive instructor, and owner of Hall's Off-Road. Bill's been building custom 4x4s for the last 20 years.
Jeeps are the most I do because most people want to put money into Jeeps, and I like their money.
Okay teams, you've seen your Jeeps, now for some ground rules. You've only got 3 days and $12,000 to spend on your trucks. At the end of the build, the trucks have to be ready to be shown to the judges. At that point, they'll be scored out of 60 points. 30 for the mechanical and off-road upgrades, 20 for the body and exterior work, and 10 for the interior. After that, we'll take the trucks to an off-road course, and whoever scores more points there wins 10 bonus points. Off-road warriors, how do you feel about the challenge?
Very confident, team's very capable. We'll be taking that trophy home with us there.
That trophy's ours.
That's our
Ditch Pigs, how you guys feeling?
Oh,
We're having no problems. These guys are nothing.
Ditch pigs suits them because you know what? They're probably going to be stuck in the ditch before they even get that thing to the trail.
All right, guys, you got a lot of work to do. Let's get to the garage.
Let's go.
Right away, both teams jump on their Jeeps, and the off-road warriors are determined to set an aggressive pace.
I think we're going to start from the top.
Work our way
down.
Beautiful.
John Whitney is one of the best welders in the business. Owner of Casey's Welding, he has a reputation for building some of the toughest off-road parts to ever hit the trail.
Bumpers, skid plates, roll cages, that's the kind of stuff I like doing.
By the end of day one, I hope to get a good grasp of all the electrical stuff, make sure that there are no surprises that are going to pop up.
Casper Shewick is an electronics engineering technician with a passion for off-roading. He'll concentrate on the Jeep's electrical and interior work.
I'm nowhere near the skill level or experience that my team members are at, but I can definitely keep my end of the deal.
Can I get a Phillips?
Got it.
Carrie Philibert is an avid off-roader and Casper's girlfriend. Carrie knows her way around a toolbox, but this is her first Jeep build.
It represents almost all of my happiest experiences. I've been with a Jeep.
1, 2, 3, team win!
Team win. Let's get to her.
On the other side of the garage, the ditch pigs are taking a methodical approach.
When it's up in the air, I'm going to start doing the gears and that today, and hopefully we can get those things accomplished today.
Okay, there's one. Take the flares off, take all the molding off, and then we'll start sanding.
The rest of the team includes Billy Spetko, co-founder of universityofjeep.ca, a website for off-road enthusiasts. A skilled amateur mechanic, Billy brings all-around Jeep skills to the team.
I don't think anybody can drive a Jeep. I don't think anybody can build a Jeep.
We can actually we can get the spare off, we can throw it on the hoist.
Jeff Robbins is Billy's off-roading buddy and co-founder of the Jeep website. He's a backyard mechanic who's just as comfortable working on Jeeps as driving them.
I've actually spent more time probably building my Jeep over the last 4 years than actually done wheeling it.
We're just getting some of this carpet out. It's kind of funky, gross.
Natasha Toder is a paramedic who loves to off-road in her spare time. A novice in the mechanical world, Natasha is eager to learn and contribute.
I found out it was going to be a Jeep. I was like, this is cool. This is going to be lots of fun.
Soon, the teams get an idea of what they have to deal with.
It was pretty much an average Jeep. There's not too often you can find a YJ that's a gem.
When I first saw the Jeep, a little skeptical at first of the vehicle. It looked kind of in rough shape.
To win the final off-road challenge and impress the judges, the new Jeeps will have to be tough and agile. This means beefing up suspensions and axles, adding new roll cages, body armor, and big wheels. While Derek plays a key role on the off-road warriors, he believes this build is a battle between John, the master fabricator, and Bill, the veteran Jeep builder.
Him and John, they're in about the same league as far as gurus go in this sport. John is a welder second to none. Bill is an off-road guy that is second to nobody in suspension. So for me, it's kind of exciting. I get to work with such knowledgeable people.
Axles break, transfer cases break, and we get ourselves out of there. So I know I can do anything when it comes to a vehicle.
The competition is a whole separate thing. Getting this Jeep done in the time frame that we've been allowed to do it, and to the extent and the number of bits and pieces that we're adding to this Jeep, if we get it done in that time frame, we've already won.
Coming up, one team member finds a way to let out his frustrations. It's the first day of the competition, and two teams are battling to rebuild matching Jeep YJs and transform them into eye-catching rock crawlers. With only 3 days to get the job done, both sides have their work cut out for them.
Hey, I thought there's only one girl on this team. Takes two of you to change a tire. Hey, come look at this. Are these the ditch pigs or piglets? We won't hold you up.
So far, the off-road warriors seem to be moving at a faster pace.
Yep.
We've been watching our Jeep take shape so quickly, and the other team, they took a much different approach to their build. They started from the bottom and worked their way up. We ended up working from the top down.
More or less, we started with Billy and I have actually done the suspension. Bill's taken on the gears and the lockers. That's what's important to us the most anyway. It's how it runs, not really how it looks.
The team is also learning that when it comes to building Jeeps, Bill's a perfectionist.
I'm stubborn. That's an easy way of saying it. I'm stubborn. I like to make sure things are done the way I want them done.
I don't know, I thought I was taking out the seats, but I guess Bill was doing that, so. Bill's a little, I noticed in the beginning, he was always like, well, what can you do? You know, can you even use a wrench? And I was like, well, come on, I'm not that ditzy.
On the other side of the garage, the off-road warriors are also learning about their teammates.
As far as the mechanics go, Derek has a little more experience with Jeeps in that area. Obviously, that's not really my forte.
I ain't no follower, but in this group, I ain't the boss, I ain't the leader. John, he drives me, and I tell you, that inspires me to watch that guy work.
Being the only two women in the garage, both Carrie and Natasha feel they have something to prove.
I know the guys on my team know way more than I do. Sometimes I feel like I'm kind of clueless. I learn pretty fast. I'm not afraid to get dirty, that's for sure. So they can kind of focus on the big stuff and I can get the little stuff done.
At this point, I'm actually personally most afraid that my inexperience will hold my team back.
Straight up, I'll tell you, they should be in the kitchen making me some food, be at home there, you know, in the bedroom, that kind of stuff. Carrie, though, she's a little, you know, she's working at it.
Well, Casper usually makes me breakfast in bed, cleans up. He knows I don't vacuum, so yeah. That's why I'm dating him, not Derek.
Our teams know that $12,000 isn't much money to build a great Jeep on, so we're going to give them a chance to win an extra part. It's time to put down the tools and go away for our first challenge. Okay, teams, welcome to the challenge. Now, you've both ordered winches for your trucks, but what we have here is a winch accessory kit, including some tow straps, some D-rings, and a snatch block that may help you get out of the woods in the challenge if you get stuck. Now, you guys are all experienced off-roaders. You're used to driving big trucks on tough terrain. We're gonna make you drive small trucks on small terrain. You get RC trucks. Nice. It's a relay race. Each team member will drive the truck around the course once, hand the controller off to the next team member. First team to finish all 4 members wins the winch accessory pack. Okay, guys?
Bring it. We can take on these little biglets.
Go down.
Let's get this thing going.
All right. It's easy, ladies. On your marks, get set, go!
With the off-road warriors driving red and the ditch pigs controlling blue, so far it's all warriors. But a lap later, the ditch pig's blue Jeep is out in front.
Don't go there.
The warriors are catching up, and with Derek at the controls, regain the lead.
They got about a half lap lead.
Go, Johnny! Yeah!
It's the last lap. Time to bring it home.
Oh, come on! And the off-road warriors cross the line.
Yes! Way to go!
Congratulations, off-road warriors! You're in the pack. Good job, both teams. Close race, close race.
Good try, guys.
Yeah. All right, guys, good work on the race. You got a lot of work to do. Let's go back to the garage.
Right on.
The off-road warriors are counting on some heavy-duty custom parts to give them an advantage.
We've got a couple of holes we've got to cut in the body in order to put our recessed lights in. John fabbed up some custom corners. First off's one of a kind. Casper, he's awesome over there messing with the electrical. Electrical to me is, you know, like French. So, and I'm from New Zealand, I don't understand French at all. No, we eat Frenchmen.
Looking at both Jeeps, it seems like the ditch pigs are moving slower, but the team believes it's building a much more ambitious off-roader.
Keep hearing that they're ahead of us, they're ahead of us. Actually, they're way behind us. It just looks that they're ahead of us because they put big parts on.
Is the other team trying to make you a little tense, or how are you feeling?
No, I'm not worried about them at all.
Yeah? All right, they're not worried about you either, just so you know.
I know.
While the ditch pigs are missing tubing for their roll cage, the off-road warriors' cage is well underway.
You know, that's the number one thing is safety. See by the cages and stuff that we're building on the trucks for a rollover. And I anticipate a rollover.
On both sides, the women's earlier fears about helping their teams are fading. Though they may be the least experienced, Carrie and Natasha are earning the respect of their teammates.
She's a go-getter. Like, for as big as she is, that girl lifted a 31-inch tire off that truck like nothing.
They're very helpful with me. No matter how busy they are, they will stop and give me something to do, show me how to do it.
She might make me eat my words there where I said to you earlier, oh, every woman should be in the damn house, you know, but maybe let a couple in the garage with us.
This isn't a sexist thing because a lot of women aren't into cars and stuff like that. You don't find a lot of them in that, and most of them don't want to get dirty. And I mean, she's out there grinding away, getting covered in dust, and she's not complaining, and that's pretty impressive to me.
Despite the looming deadline, both teams are confident they can get the job done.
Our main motivation is finish.
We will be burning them in that oil tonight and probably every night. The other team, they can go home early. They might as well quit now.
Have you seen the other team's Jeep?
I've seen some of it, yeah.
What do you think?
It's all right. It's not going to beat us, but they're doing an all right job.
Up next, crunch time. It's a monster showdown as the teams battle for another bonus part.
I think that truck was a dinosaur.
It's early in day 2, and already both of these teams have made a lot of progress. The Ditch Pigs are basically done their underbody mechanical work, but I think they've got a lot left to do on top of that truck. The Off-Road Warriors are firing on all cylinders. They fabricated a beautiful roll cage, and they think they may get more done than they originally anticipated. But it's only day 2, and there's a long way to go.
The Off-Road Warriors continue their strategy, installing eye-catching parts like custom fabricated bumpers.
We want the thing to look like it's ready for anything and be capable of doing just about anything.
The Ditch Pigs continue to focus more on mechanical strength to win the final rock climb competition.
Reliable parts that work. That's way more important than having a nice paint job and nice glossy rims and that.
The Warriors continue to be confident, even cocky.
We're way ahead of schedule, but we can just play. It'd be nice to see the other guys sweat a little bit when they see us drive out of here tomorrow.
But with Bill leading the team, the Ditch Pigs aren't about to give in.
I don't want to be arrogant about it, but out of all the guys here, I have the most experience in this stuff. I've been doing this for the longest. These guys are doing it as a hobby.
But Bill knows he can't do it alone, and everyone on his team is doing their part.
Well, I may not be the kick-butt mechanic, but I could, you know, certainly pull my own weight and help out where possible.
Though not as mechanically skilled as some of his teammates, Casper volunteers to modify a key component, the transfer case. Critical for any four-wheel drive, the transfer case is like a second transmission that distributes engine torque to the front and rear axles.
I've got him out there right now doing something I don't think he really wanted to do, but it's something new. You know, I know the guy can do it. All right, pull that yoke off, then we'll start splitting the case. You need a hand with that, or you go okay?
We're good. Yeah.
Once you get him running to anything you don't know, buddy, just give me a buzz. I'll come right back over. Cool.
As you can imagine, each of these off-roaders has their own cool truck that they've worked on. Well, we've asked each team to bring in one truck to represent them to win an extra prize in our Show and Shine Showdown. All right, teams, welcome to the challenge. You're playing for this set of high-powered auxiliary lights to add to your build. Off-Road Warriors, tell us about your truck.
What we got here is a real truck, 1987 Chev 1.5 ton with 6 44-inch boggers. Lots of horsepower under the hood, ready to go anywhere.
Derek worked on this super-sized 87 Chevy Custom for a friend and fellow off-roader.
That thing's not a truck, that's a dinosaur.
A dinosaur? You talking about the truck or maybe the driver?
Both.
Well,
Ditch Pigs, tell us about yours.
Well, what we have here is a 2002 TJ, custom airbag suspension, long arm, 513 gears, 39-inch tires, roll anywhere, do anything.
From axles to suspension to the roll cage, Bill completely customized this Jeep TJ for a client at his shop.
yeah, that's a nice ramp for this truck. Don't get stuck anywhere because you'll probably see this thing come right over top.
All right, teams, they both look like great trucks, but let's see what the judges have to say.
All right, Jim.
What do you think, Dove?
You tell me. You're the big Jeep guy.
Open the hood. Oh, big giant air tank. Must be for the air ride suspension.
Cool air intake, give you a few extra horsepower.
Big air compressor running off the motor.
Check this out.
It's got a nice set of cushy seats.
Yeah, they look comfortable, those Corbos with the, it's got 5-point harnesses.
Yeah, it does.
Wow.
Stock dash, nice and clean. I wouldn't mind riding in this on the trail.
This roll cage looks pretty beefed up.
I hope they're building this kind of cage into their two Jeeps.
Yeah, I hope so too. Let's move on to the big Chev here. Look at that.
Big 1-ton differential.
Yeah. The large steering stabilizers over here. How big are these tires?
44-inch swampers.
Woo. Everything on this thing is huge and almost overkill. And do you notice what I'm standing on here?
There's a set of dualies.
2 tires in the back of this truck. All right, this is my kind of truck. Covered in mud, top to bottom, inside and out.
Would have liked to seen the driver come out of there.
We have the RPM gauge up here, down below, oil pressure, engine temperature, all the essential gauges that you need when you're going through a deep mud hole.
Well, what do you think?
This one's really my style. I like playing in the dirt, having a lot of fun. Looks like a lot of horsepower under the hood too.
Well, this one's a little more my style. Nice slow trail ride, bouncing around up over rocks.
This is gonna be a tough one.
Okay, teams, the judges have looked carefully over your trucks. They love the big tires, they love the monster truck feel, all the power, but for versatility and everyday use, they like the Jeep for the ditch pigs.
All right.
Well, hey, they made a one in the show. Let's go see how it shines out there.
Okay.
All right, guys, you got a lot of work left to do. Let's get back to the garage.
All right, let's go.
Looks like Derek isn't very happy with that last challenge. As the builds continue, Bill discovers his roll cage plans are on hold. Some of the tubing he's ordered is missing.
We're about 3 hours behind where we want to be. That's not too bad.
On the Off-Road Warriors side, there's no shortage of things to do if the team is to make the deadline.
The cage is done. John's just wrapped that up today.
After taking nearly a full day, Casper finally finishes work on the transfer case.
And I'm sure some of the guys are probably going to be a little iffy as to whether this thing's going to perform on show day, but I'm pretty confident that we got it together.
Should be on.
With the transfer case installed and most of the mechanical work done, the Warriors are determined to be the first team to make it to the paint shop tomorrow.
It will start and it will drive to the paint shop if it's that close.
But with a lot left to do before the final day of the build, it's going to be a late night.
I gotta get the brake lines done, I gotta get the steering all set up, I gotta get the alignment all done. Basically gotta get the front end ready to go.
It's pretty hot in here tonight, so I think we're all getting a little crankier and tired than usual. The morning, yeah, is going to be the body work. And that's why we're trying to get all this done so we can actually drive it to the shop, and then when we come back, just assemble the last of things.
I mean, as long as we got a big pot of coffee, we should be all right.
Coming up, a mechanical breakdown threatens to break up one of the teams.
Been in here this morning since what, 7 o'clock, busting my ass? Just because he doesn't want to put a strap on properly?
It's the third and final day of the build, and both teams are focused on getting their body work done and their Jeeps off to the paint shop.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a race on who can get to paint first.
There are probably a million little things that we're forgetting.
No concerns. Something very drastic would have to go wrong in order to stop it from being ready.
There could be problems here and there, you know, you have problems sourcing parts, have problems doing this. Like the complexity of our build is we needed to be so far each day to schedule or else we have a hard time finishing on time.
While the ditch pigs continue sanding and finishing the mechanical work, the Off-Road Warriors are eager to be first off to the paint shop and one step ahead of their rivals.
We're a bunch of backyard guys, hobbyists, no professionals in the off-road world, but we got lots of heart, lots of drive, and we got a pretty good team here. Everyone seems to get along pretty good.
Before we get to paint, we'd like to get the driveline running and start her up and see if she rolls.
It's almost in, buddy. It's about done.
They've decided to put a drive shaft in the front and try and get it to run.
And your opinion on that?
Well, let's see if it runs or not.
Everyone free of that motor? Let me check and see if it's going to start. Who's driving now, buddy? Woo! Driving! You guys want to go wheeling? Come on, lots of room in here.
We said it will be done.
Later, piglets!
On the way out the door, something goes terribly wrong. The drive shaft snaps off, and the Warriors' Jeep comes to a grinding halt. Casper missed one of the bolts that connects the transfer case to the drive shaft. A costly error.
I have issues with how the transfer case was built after seeing that.
I made a mistake. Worst mistake I could have possibly made. It was a tiny little screw. I had forgot to put it in a cover and blew out the driveline.
While the Warriors Jeep is down for the count, the Ditch Pigs can't resist a few digs as they pass by.
Hey, little road ladies. Who's your daddy?
You guys look like you need a tow.
You guys need a tow to the paint shop?
You know, they were all like showing off, oh yeah, being cocky, and then all of a sudden, you know, they broke down right outside the front doors, and we were just like, perfect opportunity. Our vehicle is drivable right now, so we let it down on the hoist. It was like, blow by these guys. All right, we're gonna be first to paint.
This is crazy, man. We were ahead by so much, big margin there, a good lead, and now look who the hell went to the body shop first. Been in here this morning since what, 7 o'clock, busting my ass, just because he doesn't want to put a strap on properly. Now we're pushing this thing out of here.
Hey, come on. You're rushing this damn
on.
thing too fast.
And now you went to go under the truck to put it on. He's diving under there to get in front of me. Well, next time he dives under there, man, I'll be laying him out. Don't touch the underneath. You stay in the glove compartment where the wiring is, where the battery is, man. Leave that stuff alone.
We just want to get this thing done, man. I don't know what these guys are getting all crazy about.
Crazy? You ain't seen crazy. Well, you guys sit out here and hug. I'm going under there and fix this thing. I'll never ever leave a teammate stranded. But I tell you what, they keep f***ing up. I'll knock them out, man. It's just plain and simple, you know, English or math.
A couple of days ago, I would have said that we were probably a little further ahead, maybe approaching the home stretch. And now, because of some of the issues that we've had, they seem to be sort of feeding off of that, and they've got their drive back, and we're just hoping that we can get ours back.
We'll get them where it counts. The finished product.
At the paint shop, the Ditch Pigs press ahead. The team has chosen a Sherwin-Williams bright orange.
Very orange.
Yeah.
Exactly what we wanted.
Excellent. Yeah.
We've actually completed the hardest stuff from this point on, so it's more or less cosmetic from now on in.
Slow and steady wins the race, basically. I knew it. We just kept working away, putting along. Even if we were behind them, we get more work done while they're at the body shop, and that's why we drove by them.
After finally arriving at Fix Auto for paint, the off-road warriors try to shrug off their setback. Eventually, the wounds from earlier in the day start to heal. Their truck is transformed to a solid blue with a rough rock guard finish, and the team couldn't be happier.
The perfect color.
Look at that. That's trophy material. When we left the shop, we were all pissed off at this truck.
Yeah.
Now it's looking pretty good.
It was awesome seeing them in the paint shop, seeing both vehicles and how they've come from their original state to where they are now.
This looks great, huh?
Starting to look like it.
But this final day of the build is far from over. Though the teams are exhausted, work on both Jeeps is still incomplete, and the deadline is fast approaching.
It got to me, you know, it's the mental part now. I can see what the challenge is. It's not only the physical, but mentally it plays a game on you when you're, you know, you only have a certain number of hours to do something.
Time limit's always a challenge, so you're always playing the odds.
We started this as a team of 4. We'll finish it as a team of 4.
Still to come, the final push to the finish line and the amazing transformations.
There's only a few hours left to go, and now the pressure is on. The teams have to get the trucks finished. Whatever it takes, they may have to help each other out, they may have to improvise, but they got to get it done. That's what off-roading's all about.
Taking things apart are obviously a lot easier. Putting them back together is a lot more gratifying, though. This is the time where we have to really crunch, because this is when we've got the least energy. We need to be devoted right till the end.
And now that we're getting down to the final stretch, we're starting to see some stuff that either had been overlooked or maybe taken for granted, and now we're in the process of going back and readdressing those things.
Our main motivation is to finish the job and finish it well, and we're going to do it.
The teams are also trying to keep some of their design secrets to themselves.
Looks like a DVD player. It's not actually, it's just a video screen.
Got a camera lens in the center.
and a number of LEDs around the outside, which help to illuminate the dark cavity underneath the Jeep so we can see all the components turning and see out over top of the axle to see the terrain that's directly in front of the wheels.
Okay, I'm ready to fire up. We have video. Looks good. Got a pan to the right of it.
After taking some heat earlier in the build, Casper is now blowing away his teammates.
You're in the shot. Yep.
We all shine, different areas, and tell you, he's shining like a star today, man. It's awesome.
He's the guy with the wire.
Oh yeah, he's the guy with the wires.
When Casper suggested this to us after we had our first meeting, our first impression was, "You out of your mind, we don't need a camera." He brought it down and showed it to us, and both of our jaws dropped when we seen it because it just blew us away.
Oh, where do you think you're going?
I just need some more paint here.
Paint's on that end of the bench. None of those guys man up, come over here and try and do the dirty work?
I'll be back.
Oh, come on, keep going, other side, thank you.
While the off-road warriors remain confident, the ditch pigs think they've built the more mechanically sound Jeep.
You guys kind of thought we were all behind, and we weren't really behind. We did all the mechanical stuff that actually makes the vehicle work, the important stuff.
They're gonna be more bling, I think. They might have the fancy stereo and the GPS and everything, but in the end, we'll be a lot better.
We got these JKS Quick Connects. They get connected to the sway bar, right? So these are basically for highway use. For off-road use, you pull them off so you get a lot more flex on the front end.
These are beadlock rims. When we're off-road, you can air these things down to about 4 pounds of pressure, so it sucks around the rocks. So this stops it from popping off the rim.
You're in the home run. You're nearly at the end of the build. How are you feeling right now?
Pretty good. Once we get this down from the tires, we're just going to put the seats and that in, and we're done.
All right, teams, there's 5 minutes left. Okay, Casper, you're working away well here now, but you know when I blow that air horn, when I call time, that's it. Tools down no matter what you're doing, right?
When you blow that air horn, we'll be turning the key.
All right, I'll hold you to it. Teams, 1 minute. 1 minute to go. "30 seconds. 30 seconds to go. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's time. Put down the tools. Back away from the trucks. Okay, teams, it's been a tough 3 days. You've had some heartaches, but you got them done. Off-road warriors, how you guys feeling?
Oh, we're feeling a little tired today after the long build. It's been a little stressful. We had a couple of hothead times there, but we figured them out. Truck looks awesome. It's going to work great. We can't get out there and do some ass kicking.
All right, ditch pigs, how you guys feeling?
I think we're feeling pretty good today. It's been a little easier on us today because we worked our butts off the first few days and we're a bit more organized, I think, and we're going to have no problems kicking their butts.
All right, guys, well, let's bring in your trucks. All right, guys, these trucks look amazing. Off-road warriors, what did you guys do?
We started out with a rusty old YJ, added some custom bumpers, swing-out tire carrier. Truck is very road-friendly, lots of power, and top it all off, skilled driver.
Wait till you get in the rocks.
All right, ditch pigs, what do you have for that?
We got a YJ, spring over, a custom roll cage, suspension seats to keep our backs from killing us. We got 35-inch tires and bead locks to keep the tires on the rims when we air down in those rocks that they'd have no idea what they're coming into. So.
Oh yeah, we've been there a couple of times. Maybe not to the intensity, but they'll be in for a little shock.
All right, guys, well, I see a lot of love and effort's gone into these trucks. Let's turn them over to the judges to see what they think.
Well, we're back.
Looking at a couple of fancy trucks.
Yeah, these are unbelievable. I walked through the door to see them sitting here and I was totally blown away. Well, we'll start off with the huge bar on the front here, nice winch. They've extended these bars, come right down the side as well and around to the back.
It's got a nice rock ram system. Helps with the hydraulic steering when you're in a tight bind with these big tires.
It'll give you enough turn to get out of anything, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful suspension seats, totally awesome. Save your butt and your back. Upgraded the cage, added some triangulation for safety. Lots of good just-in-case stuff here.
They did some nice beadlock wheels for the tires so you can let all the air out.
That'll just wrinkle over any rock.
Oh, yeah.
Done a great job here mounting the spare tire right in the center of the vehicle.
Keeps the center of gravity nice and low and tight.
And the awesome orange, of course.
Yeah, the orange looks fantastic.
The orange with all the black accents. I love the way this truck looks.
Looks great.
This one's ready to hit the trail for sure. Well, the blue truck, right off the bat, is very interesting.
How do you like the armor on this one?
These bumpers are out of this world. Huge winch, big D-rings. This could be towed out of any situation. Looking at the paint, this is like a gravel guard what you put on the bottom section of your, I guess, regular street car.
Yeah.
To avoid the stone chips.
Nice maintenance-free finish. Well, they did some nice cage work on this one also. A little bit more than the orange truck.
Got the suspension seats again. This one's safe to roll over. They have CB radio.
Nice GPS system.
They have a video camera mounted underneath this car with LED lights to light up the road below them, so you don't even need a spotter when you're out on the trail.
Yeah, be able to watch it from your seat.
Yeah.
They also got a big, huge bumper on the back with a real nice approach angle on it.
This is one of my favorite touches of the truck right here. Your tire iron is actually what holds a spare tire on. These guys thought of everything when they put it together. I really like the versatility of this truck. Take it crawling, mudding, drive it home, drive it downtown.
Yeah.
Nice wheels. All in all, it's going to be a tough decision.
Again.
Again.
Okay, teams, the judges have looked at your Jeeps. They loved them both, and they've given us their scores, but we're not going to tell you yet. We're going to go do an obstacle course, and whichever team takes fewer penalty points there will get 10 bonus points for the build. So, you guys ready?
We're ready.
Yeah. Let's go wheeling.
Woo!
Next, Heartbreak Hill, the final test of our off-road teams.
The back drive shaft didn't break. Woo!
After transforming a pair of basic Jeeps into amazing off-road machines, our two teams are about to face their final test at a sanctioned off-road site.
The way we've set up the drivetrain, the way we've set up the locking system, the front and rear and the selectable, I think we might have an advantage.
Winning to us, I think, is more or less the four-wheeling challenge. I just think our suspension's set up better for this type of challenge.
All right, off-roaders, welcome to the final challenge. You've got to take your Jeeps up this 50-degree rock face. You get penalized for hitting flags, you're penalized for backing up, you're penalized for stopping, you're penalized for using your winches. Team with the fewest penalties wins the 10 bonus points for the build. And Off-Road Warriors, you had a little chance to drive your truck in on the trail. How does it feel?
Excellent.
Awesome.
Ready for this.
So Bill, now that you're looking at the rock face, you would have done anything different with the Jeep?
Not at all.
Would you have done something different with their Jeep?
Oh, lots of things.
With what we had to work with, I think both teams are winners. Just one team's going to be a little bit better here, and hopefully it'll be us at the end of the day.
Well, Derek, that's the kind of confidence I like, so you're going to go first.
Right on, let's get at it.
Let's go.
Both teams walk through the course, checking for any potential surprises.
If I can hit this rock, that'll bring us back over.
Well, I'll just grab the strap, go high right.
If it starts to go, we'll let it go.
First up, the Off-Road Warriors. John will drive and Derek will spot, working the ropes to help their Jeep get up the hill.
Come on, John.
This is ours, buddy. Take her home.
Show him.
I'll see you at the top.
Me personally, I'd rather be on the rope. I like to scramble up the rocks. Like, I'll go to the extreme to keep the Jeep from rolling. John and I have off-roaded together too before, so we kind of know how each other works.
1, 2, 3. Win!
Win! Win!
All right, Off-Road Warriors, are you ready? Start your engine and do the challenge.
Before even getting to the rocks, John is stuck in the mud. They know that they'll take a penalty, but the team has decided to use the winch.
It's coming out.
John gets it out of the mud, but the Off-Road Warriors have racked up 6 penalty points. The Jeep gets stuck again, only this time it's more serious.
How you guys feeling right now? He's hung up on a rock.
He'll get over it. fairly normal to get stuck on a spot like that.
So you're not worried that your Jeep is currently sitting on top of a huge rock, high centered on its drive shaft, essentially?
I've seen worse.
Is it all right? I want to know if he's okay.
Woohoo! Yeah, get me up right so I can keep going.
The Jeep is flipped back upright, and John is ready to continue the final climb. But the Warriors are now down 8 points.
Yeah, there's John getting right back on the horse. What do you think he's thinking right now?
That he's glad he built that roll cage so
he's roaring
strong.
to go again, yeah.
Come on, John! Come on, John!
There he goes. Oh.
There you go. Left, Johnny, left. Here we go. Easy, easy, easy.
You had no front drive.
When we first had our rollover, we lost drive on one of the front wheels. No big deal. We were just hoping it would last a little bit longer.
There is a time limit, so this is the Off-Road Warriors' last chance.
Get out of the way!
I'm telling you to get your crate off the course.
Ready?
I think they shouldn't be so arrogant.
Let's go.
Let's see how they do.
Derek tries to be the human winch. But it's all over.
Okay, teams, well, sorry, you didn't make it up the incline. You're going to take the penalty points. The only chance you have is if the other team doesn't make it up either.
You know what, though? The back drive shaft didn't break. Woo!
Is that your first roll?
First roll.
How'd it feel?
Secure. That was awesome.
How about the fact that one of your bars bent in the cage?
Oh, that wasn't one of mine. That's a factory bar. My bars are still nice and straight.
All right, let's get your baby out of here and get them going up.
We're making it up. Oh yeah, we're making it up.
Oh yeah, we're still making it up.
Slow and steady wins the race, boys.
Exactly. Yeah.
They just gave us all the lines and they cleared out the course for us.
You want me down there, buddy?
I think it's my fault.
Despite what happened to the other team, Bill isn't intimidated by the rock climb. Billy will be his spotter.
Unless there's some unseen mechanical thing that's happened that we'll win that, no problems. But my four-wheeling experience and that, we should not have a problem with it.
Come on, Bill. Show them how it's done, buddy.
Go!
Come on, come on! Oh, come on!
So far, the orange rock crusher is living up to the hype, but it's not a flawless climb.
2 points for having to back up to change the line. Two more points.
After taking a few penalty points, the Ditch Pigs make the last push for victory.
That's it. That's how you do it, fellas.
There you go. Not a problem. All right.
What do you think of that, guys? Hey, yeah, that's right. There you go. Good job, good driving. Good spot. Nice work, fellas. I don't know. Awesome.
Okay, teams, we're standing on top of the mountain, but there's only one Jeep with us here, and we know what that means. The Ditch Pigs were the only ones to get up. You win the hill climb, you win the bonus 10 points.
All right, nice.
But we all know that that's only part of this competition, and the Jeeps have also been judged out of 60 points back at the garage. 30 points for mechanical work, 20 points for exterior and body, and 10 points for the interior. On the mechanical work, the judges awarded the ditch pigs 20 points, reflecting what it took to get up the mountain here, and only gave you guys 19.
Hey, not bad, not bad.
On exterior work, the judges loved your body armor, they loved your cage fabrication, they gave you a full 18.5 points and only 12.5 for the ditch pigs. And then on interior work, the judges loved that you put the GPS in, your under truck camera so you could see the rocks. They gave you 9.5 points out of 10. They only give you guys 4.5.
Yeah, that's all right.
So if you do the math, they've given the ditch pigs 37 points, 47 points for the off-road warriors. Adding the 10 points for the hill climb, what you're looking at is a tie. So Bill, John, put your hands both on the trophy. You've both won the War of the Wheels.
Woo!